time, I have the honor of introducing to you for his State Officer Spotlight speech, your 2014-2015 State 4-H Council Secretary Treasurer Brandon Hartman.
I love that song, but I hate what it entails, running upstairs. So for the past 4 years, I've idolized these green State Officer blazers. When most people walk into the room, they notice the guy in the green blazer pretty quickly. So naturally, my older brother got one. I had to have one. I failed to foresee one thing. Like I said, most people notice the guy in the green blazer pretty quickly. Everybody notices the leprechaun who walks into the room. And the bad thing is, I'm not even joking. Back in March, I had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. for National Ag Days through North Carolina 4-H. And while I was there, we were making legislative visits on the Hill. So while we were making these visits, I wanted to represent North Carolina 4-H in my state officer attire. My black pants, my white shirt, my gold tie, my green jacket. Yeah, it was March. And yeah, it was the day after St. Patrick's Day. The entire time I walked around, people were asking me, do you realize it's a day late? And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the pot of gold yet. So if any of y'all want to help me on that, let me know. Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Hartman, and I'm your outgoing 2014-2015 State 4-H Secretary Treasurer. Currently a sophomore here at North Carolina State University, majoring in agricultural science. So, great to see. So I have an idea to share with you, okay? So this idea is about leadership in life. So like I said, I'm a college student. And college students generally have a bad rap for a lack of sleep. So this idea, I really started thinking about this. It was about 2:30 in the morning. And I was trying to create a structure for this very speech. Sort of ironic. So while I was there, I had recently had somebody tell me that I was a good leader. Naturally I said, it's because of 4-H. All those leadership skills that came from 4-H. But I began to wonder and ask myself the question we've all heard: what is a leader and what is leadership? Okay, so I came up with this idea. And this idea is that leadership is like a game of pinball. Okay, so let's think about a pinball machine for a minute. In a game of pinball, you only have so much control over the things that happen to you and the outcomes of situations. Within the game, you are the pinball. On a pinball machine, you pull back a pin to launch your pinball into the game. At this point, you cannot control the things that happen to you or the outcomes of different situations. Much like that, you can't control the relationships you create or the things that happen. Leadership, much like life, is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So let's consider every bumper, flap, target, or any other thing you'd find in a pinball machine as a new relationship. In pinball, the initial launch of the ball will affect the first contact with those bumpers, which will then affect where the ball goes, and so on. I believe that similarly, our initial attitudes, beliefs, behaviors, missions, and goals will affect how the rest of the situation will play out. So after that initial launch, the only point of contact is the two flappers at the bottom of the game. And these flappers are the ways we react, the ways we make adjustments to our situations. They're the things that can decide whether we are successful as a leader or pinball player, respectively. The beauty of pinball is that no two games are just alike. In pinball and life, there are inevitable and unavoidable changes and situations. Things that happen out of the blue, which we don't expect. A man who knew more than most about this was Jimmy Valvano, coach of the 1983 National Championship team here at North Carolina State University. At 45, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, but he took that obstacle and did something great. He fought for his life the same way that he coached basketball, learning everything he could, talking up a storm, that's my favorite, and insisting on the last shot. He faced cancer head-on, and months before he passed away, he gave his infamous ESPY speech, in which he used the phrase, "Don't give up." Have y'all ever been in a situation in which your stomach got a little queasy, your heart began to race, your knees got a little weak, and your palms began to sweat? I know I have. This past hour has been killing me. So During state council conference, I had the opportunity to be a flag bearer at a football game. Now folks, this wasn't just any football game. It was an NC State football game. And it was at Carter Finley Stadium. So real quick, let me clarify something. At one of my first 4-H congresses, I created this theory that state officers didn't get nervous. Sorry about that. Folks, I'm here to tell you, that's not true. The entire day leading up to the game, I was worried sick. You know, I couldn't even think straight. I was about to walk out in front of who knows how many fans that are just ready to watch a game. Here I was carrying our state flag. Here I was on the field at Carter Finley Stadium. Here I was representing 232,000 4-H'ers across North Carolina. You know, I was lucky that I didn't trip and I was able to stay in time with the color guard. And my time on the field at Carter Finley was an awesome experience. And this is one of the many tasks that I've confronted head-on and been successful. So as you may know, agriculture is part of who I am. I showed my first lamb at 3 years old, and showing cattle soon followed. I'm in fact planning a career out of agriculture by majoring in agricultural science with an intent to go into ag law and ag policy. And the biggest cornerstone in my involvement has been the North Carolina State Fair, really since before I was born. So my favorite part of the North Carolina State Fair is the Special Olympics show. The Special Olympics show is a part of the state fair in which individuals with special needs show cattle, sheep, and goats. I started participating in the show 9 years ago. On that first year, I was randomly paired with a young man by the name of Garrett McLean. Well, that next year, Garrett came up to me and found me wanting to show together. Every year since then, Garrett and I would have our annual reunion, and we would see how much both of us had changed. On one occasion, Garrett even demanded that his family's vacation be moved so he could be there. Last year, we reconnected like any other year and showed cattle together. In the following month, Garrett passed away. Garrett had become an integral part of my life because of his love of animals and his trust in me. That all came together to form a strong friendship. Thank you, Garrett, for 9 great years of showing together. Excuse me. He has several family members here in the audience. I'd like to thank them for coming. So throughout my 4-H career, I've been lucky to have people who supported me and believed in me every step of the way. I'd like to start off by thanking my cows. They're the ones that constantly keep me company when I'm home, and when I talk to them, they don't talk back. It's pretty nice most of the time. Next, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who was on my campaign team. It was a great campaign. I'd also like to thank you. Can I see a raise of hands who all got a bag of those Lucky Charms? Okay, I know more of y'all got those, but so that's the ones who I haven't been able to eat since my campaign last year, so I appreciate that. Next, I'd like to say thank you to the past and present Stokes County 4-H'ers. I'd like to say thank you to the Davis family, the Booze family, the Byers family, the Evans family. There's so many of them that have been here, supported me through the years, so I'm thankful for them. We've had a lot of fun together, and we've always had fun where we've gone. Going along with that, I'd like to say thank you to my many agents throughout the years. Regardless if you've been one of my agents or not, you've inevitably affected me. I specifically would like to say thank you to my agents Terry Boss, Melissa Stabner, April Bowman, and Matt Barber for your time and support. I would also like to thank several leaders such as Nancy Furr and Pam Davis, and all the leaders and volunteers that have helped me to get to where I am today. The next group I would like to thank is Alpha Gamma Rho Fraternity. Now that I'm here at NC State, I'm a brother in Alpha Gamma Rho Fraternity, which is molding me into a better leader and man. And this is my way to continue my service since I'm aging out of 4-H. This group of guys give me some great mentors, better roommates. Justin Lawrence, last year's state officer, one of my best friends, and Adam Long, he's not here today, and then my older brother. I'd real quick like to say thank you to the state staff, Miss Shannon, Miss Sarah, well, Dr. Shannon, sorry about that, Dr. Downing, Dr. Yoder, Dr. Barber, everybody who makes this happen, Dr. Burke. I'd like to thank all of them. They have done a great job this year getting this done. O'Shea, Drew, Madeline. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. From Asheville to Wilmington, we've had some great times together. O'Shea, it's been an awesome experience to have run with you, and to listen to your imitations of Mufasa from The Lion King. Y'all gotta hear it sometime. Drew and Madeline, I have to say both of you have been very brave, mostly because you've let me drive your cars. Y'all have heard about my driving habits. These three have been victims of my constant antics about agriculture and my driving style, but Lord knows that nothing has been quite as fun as that first week riding around in Cary. Thank you to each of you for a great final year. Next, for those of you who are upcoming district officers or plan to run for district office, be nice to everyone, but also be careful who you talk to. In my case, one of the people who served as a district officer the same year I did, Taylor Furr, is now my girlfriend. Taylor, you've been the one person who's intentionally wanted to put up with me in my childish way for over the past 2.5 years. I don't know how you've done it, but I'd like to thank you for being my best friend and my rock. Now there's one group I truly would not be here without. You see, both my parents were in 4-H, and they each had a parent that was in 4-H. You see, my first contact in 4-H was long before I was thought of. And as they say, it takes a village to raise a child, and I've had a huge village. My grandparents have been integral parts of my 4-H career, and they've been volunteers for many years in their communities, much of which is still noticeable today. Thank you to my mom, Carolyn and Brandon Hartman, for watching over me. And for those of you who know Pa Tommy and my grandmother Joanne, those two have been really every Congress, and they've been a great support system. Next, I'd like to say thank you to my Uncle David, Aunt Barbara, Uncle Philip, and Aunt Lynn, who are all 4-H alumni. Y'all have helped haul me around to shows and spoiled me a little too much at times. To my cousins Allison, Michelle, and Cooper and Anna. Each of you amaze me in what each of you do, and I expect great things from you over the next coming years. Cooper, you got some big shoes to fill. Of all the people that I'm going to talk about today, there are 3 people who I'd not be here without today, and they've been there every step of the way. The first person is my brother Brian. In all honesty, he's one of the people I've idolized most throughout my 4-H career because of the changes he's made and how much he's willing to adapt. Thank you, Brian, for being the steady hand I can always rely on, and all of your creative work, not just on my campaign, but nearly every picture I've had you draw since elementary school. The last 2 people I'd like to talk to are my 2 parents, Keith and Sharon. I could talk for days about the sacrifices these 2 have made for me to be involved and engaged in things that I enjoyed, and all of my accomplishments at the beginning of my 4-H career have been due in part to the think tank made of my parents. I hope I made you proud, and I would like to ask my mom, dad, and brother to the stage to accept this small token of my appreciation. These 3 have helped mold me into the man I am today, and I know they will continue for years to come. I'd like to thank each of them for everything they've done since I was able to walk, really. As I address North Carolina 4-H one last time as a 4-H'er, I'd like to pose a challenge. I ask you to leave a legacy. Coach Jimmy Valvano left his legacy as a motivator on the basketball court with NC State and off the court with the Jimmy V Foundation. I ask you to make your 4-H legacy. Whether you plan to be a 4-H state officer or you just want to go to county events, I would like to ask you to be a 4-H'er for life. Whatever you go on to do in life, don't forget the chances that people gave you through 4-H. Wherever you end up, become involved in the local 4-H on some level, if not for you, for the future generations who will fill our shoes one day. Thank you, North Carolina 4-H, for everything. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as a state officer. This is Brandon Hartman addressing you for the last time. Good afternoon, good luck, and may God be with you.